with ease, but has Ace done enough to get away? No, someone else is there, and as gets caught out, also takes a hit. So 3 of the survivors injured, camping the pallet, and goes down.
Yeah, honestly, really strong start here from the nurse, to say the least. Our survivors not going down without a fight, and that there will be the first hook here on the Claudette.
Yeah, 2 hooks, 1 gen done. 2 of the survivors, they need to go off and reset there, try and regroup, get a bit of calmness. We see in the distance the deadlock kick in on that gen. We see them starting to heal, so they're obviously taking their advice and resetting. See where they go, as now has been saved and is off hook now.
Yeah, and I want to note that we have seen that gen highlighted in yellow once before, that there is in fact a eruption, and the Zarina getting caught out of nowhere and getting down once again. I believe this here will be the first hook for the Zarina as well.
Yeah, I think it gave us a scare as much as it did Owly there as it goes onto the hook, but Phineas is absolutely flying around this map with ease. Survivors are falling into their lap. This is not the start. 3 hooks, 1 gen down. They're captain on hook, and we see another survivor in the distance, and it is Claudette who takes it down straight away. Owly looks like that has... Oh no, there's a decisive kicked in and a cheeky flashbang and deliverance. Sorry, I was lost for words there. It looks like Owly just used there coming off that hook.
Yeah, it looks like there's a deliverance, there's a decisive flashbang too, but not able to get the blind on the nurse, as we will see the second gen popping off and deadlock activating once again in the distance.
Father Campbell's Chapel map is so small that it's so easy for a nurse to navigate. I think this was a brilliant pick to go through all these levels for Prophecy, and Phineas is making this look easy as we see Ace and keeps that pressure on the survivors. 2 now injured, 1 on hook. We don't know where Jerry is, probably camped out around where this deadlock gen is happening and waiting it on, but again, they'll need to reset, but that might be at the cost of movement there. Or air loves movement, should I say.
Yeah, it looks like they will be trying to go back for this unhook here, try and go for the taunt. We do see the survivor immediately off a hook going towards the carnival, and I think Nurse sees them too. Gonna go for a prediction blink here, and will find the Claudette successfully.
Yeah, this could snowball if they're all grouped together there. Claudette trying to make as much valuable time, but really under pressure, these survivors, as is now going back, after getting away from that decisive, is now going back onto the hook. And I think that's them out of the game.
It is indeed. First survivor sent back to the campfire via the entity with 3 gens remaining. We saw this with the nurse match as well pretty quickly in the coal tower, and it might be a little bit of a repeat scenario. The only time will tell whether or not these survivors are going to be able to get any escapes, maybe via a very cheeky hatch play as well.
Yeah, I think we could see a mirror of what we saw in the first game, but I wonder how the Blight is going to get on. I don't think they're going to be able to navigate as seamlessly as this nurse. It'll be interesting to see. But again, finding Survivor so easily and navigating around that map as Jer or the Feng takes another hit and is pursued into the corner and is just making this nurse play look easy as Jer goes down.
Yeah, honestly, the nurse has been absolutely brutal this match, and their ability to just blink up to that second floor is so beneficial, and we saw that on Cold Tower, seeing that here again on Father Campbell's Chapel, just ignoring the map design, and I mean, that's what nurse does best. You know, ignore what the developers decided to do with the map and say, this is my map now.
Yeah, basically deconstructing it like the Matrix, like Neo floating around the place. I know what you mean. It's funny, but oh no, there's Ace taken down for what will be a hook trade. No, has decided to ignore it and go after the Ace and gets him down easily. Probably will re-engage with the Fang as another gem pop.
It looks like they will go for the Ace here, wanting to get them closer to second stage, I do believe. We do see that third gen popping off, and I will say Nurse doesn't exactly have a strong gen spread But they are able to go through this main building and up here as well pretty quickly. Kind of a pseudo 3-gen here. It is kind of hard to say, but they are able to guard that hook while guarding these gens as well.
Yeah, it's almost like that, but that by Carnival is the stick out there. I think you go back and protect that manufactured 3-gen to make sure they secure that 4K. Survivor's in a bit of trouble here, as Kero looks like they'll probably go out while the Survivors try and break that 3-gen. We see Feng there working on it, but is found, and I suspect we were about to see her go down in the next few seconds as she pursues around this tile. No, broke chase and has gone back again.
Yeah, has realized that the ace did get unhooked. Looks like a renewal in hand once again. And the question is, where has the ace gone? And they are hunting for them. Unfortunately, though, ace already healed up, making this chase that much longer now. But ace is within the nurse's sights, and I believe we will see another survivor sent back to the campfire here in just a few moments.
Yes, I think we saw Owly pursuing over into the corner, and Ace kind of heading in the same direction, but I don't think he quite spotted him, or maybe he did.
Yeah, looks like Nurse, though, a little bit concerned about that gen we saw the Feng Min on earlier. They don't want to give up this 3-gen if at all possible, and sure enough, there's the Feng. Unfortunately, no second blink in hand in order to get the down, but will go for the kick on the gen for some Eruption Overcharge Valia.
Yeah, and that would be instrumental in there. Was concerned about that gen. It was almost completed. Now, Feng trying to waste valuable time going around that, knowing that that gen's protected by Eruption.
And
18 seconds.
Yeah, that is 10% off the gen, 25 seconds of incapacitation status effect in the instance the survivor is on there, but we did not hear the Zarina scream, so she could be elsewhere, and I think that is exactly what the nurse is concerned about. However, now if Tusar is down on the ground, they do have a higher risk for an Unbreakable, and there's the Zarina getting grabbed off the gen!
I don't know what they were thinking there, but knew that that gem was almost close to popping. Wherever they decided to sacrifice themselves to ensure that they got 4-gen and hoping that their killer would do a better job as Blight on this map. But this looks like it's the end. I think we've already seen a Deliverance play. We've already seen Unbreakable. I think this has snowballed, and we're about to see all the killers sent back to the campfire.
Yeah,
killers, survivors.
It would appear that way. And honestly, quite surprising. I think you're right. Zarina just thought that she had that in hand. Gen must have been 99, if not more. I imagine Zarina kind of smashing down on her keyboard or smashing the controller saying, "It was done. It was completed. Why was I grabbed?" And unfortunately, just, you know, DBD doing DBD things.
Yeah, or over that, the teammates are definitely shouting something at them, but hopefully they can get through this. Their killer is up next as a Blight. Be interesting to see how they are. I think they're a Blight main and obviously fancy themselves on this map, but a really tough job ahead of them will need to improve as we see Owly now exiting out the game. Jer's not long behind him, but trying to find Kiro, who is crawling and bleeding on the floor somewhere.
Yeah, and I will say, if they bleed out, it does result in the same score one way or another. However, if they're by some means able to escape via the hatch while slugged out on the ground, that would be huge here for the survivors. Unfortunately, the nurse does find them. The crows giving the ace away, and the nurse doing a little bit of a thank you, showing the crows some love.
He was showing some crows some anger, but you're correct. He's thanking the crows to show him where they are as they crawled and gave it away. But what a performance by Phineas. And we saw the same yesterday. Really good. And a lot of pressure now put onto Tribute's killer to basically get a 4K and ensure only 2 gens are done.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle, not impossible for the likes of Blight, but only time will tell. With that being said, though, we are going to be back in just a little bit as we do set up the lobby for trial number 4. With that being said, do want to remind everyone here today that you, yes, you the viewers, are our sponsors. So that as they watch all the bits they tip on the subs they buy, and of course all the Rogue Energy buy using the code COTF. Go supporting Champions of Fog and our prize pools for Group A and Group B. With that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. All right, and we are back for trial number 4, Tribute versus Prophecy, and Tribute is here with their last stand. They are going to need to get a 4K at 2 gens in order to force a set 3. If they get anything other than that, Prophecy will take the victory, even if this ends in a draw at a 4K at 3 gens. Blight has quite the work cut out for them, but do you think it's possible?
Anything's possible in this game. We've seen some marvelous displays from some of these killers. I think hopefully FaZe has something up their sleeve, because I would be concerned about the ease of traversing the map as well as the Nurse. But obviously they're confident in it and thought that this pick would be better than Nurse on the first game. But I hope Tribute come out swinging, because it'd be great to see them go into a third set and keep this match going. But Prophecy will want to end this quickly. We see Corrupt there as the Blight is looking for the first survivor. We saw that Prophecy was particularly good at hiding when this was up on previous games. Hopefully they can take that value away from them, as the Blight is dizzily sprinting around the map to try and find that first survivor.
Yeah, interesting enough, the Blight, not sure if it's a spectator bug or otherwise, kind of rubber banding a little bit here and there. Haven't heard anything from the team so far, so hopefully it is just spectator related. But so far, no sign of these survivors, not even in main, which is pretty well protected, especially if the survivor up there has a balanced landing. But Blight desperately trying to find this first survivor here and just unable to do so.
Yeah, no scratch marks, no tails, no crows. Carefully staying out of reach. We're nearly at the 3/4 mark for the Corrupted to run out. Prophecy doing a good job hiding. And again, this will be creeping into the killer's head, waning down on confidence. But hopefully they'll be able to shake themselves and come out swinging. And hopefully they'll find a survivor, because it's pretty boring just talking about a Blight walking around lane, not finding anybody.
Yeah, tend to agree. And Blake kind of, once again, kind of taking a moment to think, where could these survivors be? And, you know, the one place they haven't checked, which sometimes survivors do like to creep around, is basement. I think Blake kind of think of that too, is going to be going over towards Shack. But once again, not hearing anyone, as Corrupt Intervention does come to an end.
That is a...
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. I was going to say that's a really good thing from the survivor side.
It really is. And like we said, they just need 3 gens, with all 7 gens now unlocked and able to be worked on. The Blight has it really cut out for them, even to find this first chase here.
Yeah, oh, and then was the Claudette out of nowhere. I don't know. I think that was just by pure chance happened to spin round, because I didn't see her there. But the chase is on, finally finding something, and will want to get a down quickly to restore some confidence. God Pallet gone down already. Claudette could be in trouble, but also wasting valuable time, because we know the win conditions and Prophecy seem well oiled in their communication, being able to be hidden and have this survivor take them round the houses on track. But there we go, movement goes down. That was a good spin and a flick to make sure that hit landed.
Yeah, absolutely. Blake in first down there, and we do see them going towards one of these hooks. They're actually trying to find which hook they want to go towards, and looks like they're going to actually attempt to go into basement instead here in order to secure this first hook. And definitely a little bit sketchy there, as it took them a hot moment to do so.
Yeah, I thought there wasn't going to be enough time to go down into basement, but leaves her down there hoping to force the other survivors, who seem to be very elusive. We see a lot of progress on this gen. Movement in the basement, trying to tease some survivors out, but we should see a gen ping any time now. Hasn't gone over to the far side of the map and seems to be focused around here.
Yeah, we
Where do you think they are, Gil?
Deadlock there as well. NC blockers popping up, blocking the main gen for the next 30 seconds. I mean, though I understand why they want to force the survivor to second stage, the problem is that they're giving the survivors that entire other side of the map to work on gens, and that's exactly what you don't want. But we do see the Nancy going down into the basement. This here could be a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it grabbed off. There was some weird shimmy going on. Let's just put that down to skill. Anyway, Claudette, I think there's, on my side, definitely some weird connection issues. That hit or that hitbox was massive, but pursues Claudette as she goes round there to make sure to take and put that extra pressure on the survivors if they manage to get Claudette out of the game.
Yeah, however, do you want to notice Nancy got in there just in time. Claudette did not progress the second stage. So this will be her second hook here, and 2 gens left to be completed. 1 gen left to be completed by these survivors in order to secure victory. And yeah, it's hard to say whether or not this is ping related or if this is just spectator related. But survivors in a very strong position here as they are finding the Atom, getting the hit too.
Yeah, that was a good hit from a very wide hitbox. I won't comment on it anymore. But yeah, the survivors, the killer, in a really tough spot here. That win condition is getting ever so closer, and they still have 4 survivors in the game, even though 1 is on hook. Did that take 2 kicks of that gen there? I'm not quite sure what was
looks like
on.
they may have let go just a smidge early. And I do want to note there, that is in fact a pop goes the weasel. So though they were 99 the gen to evade the deadlock, it actually might end up working against them as they now have that regress by a pretty significant amount.
Yeah, movement looks like they are progressing out of the game and making their way back to the campfire, but I don't think the survivors care. Their mission is to get 1 more gen, and then that game is secure for them, as the Blight see some scratch marks and really interrupts this gen. Oh, that was so close to being done.
Yeah, however, do you want to know, no pop goes weasel that time around, just applying the base kit kick of 2.5% on that 0.3% regression thereafter. Do you want to note there's a gen out in Carnival as well that I imagine these survivors are sitting on? Like we said, they only need 1 more generator in order to secure this, whether it be that main gen, whether it be this Carnival where we see the Nancy as well. It doesn't matter. They just need 1, and I think during this chase here, we're going to see one of them pop off.
It's almost like they were listening to you, Gilt. You said Carnival. What did he do? He turned around and went to Carnival. But it's lucky that there is a delay on stream and it's just a coincidence. But yeah, good game brain to think but I think they're in real trouble. That gen nearly being done with only the base in main. Nancy in the corner here trying to take up as much time. We just saw the gen be alerted up there, but I don't think they're going to get over there in time to prevent it. Do you, Gilt?
Yeah, I'm not thinking so. That was 10% off the gen, so 9 seconds in total. They do get here in time to kick the gen, but mind you, once again, no pop goes the weasel for this Blight. And so that is just going to be the base kit, 2.5%, as we do see another survivor jumping back up here. And I imagine the Adam and or Kate, who is now in main, are going for that pickup and the 3rd gen.
And that was the Carnival gem, wasn't it? Like, it was only a matter of time before one or the other went. The Blight under increasing pressure here. But it does look like that win condition is over and that Prophecy are going to be the ones who win this overall bronze final, right?
Yep, it would appear that way. So Prophecy will take the W, even in the instance of a tie set at a 3-gen 4K. It will mean that Prophecy takes the W, as they did win set number 1. But Blight's still out on the prowl, trying to find another survivor.
Yeah, as we saw, FaZe will want to make sure that they secure that 4K, if nothing else, for honor and bragging rights over Tribute, as the game is still far from over. And let's hope that it's more entertaining, as the survivors will try to get Blink off, reset, and hopefully get some escapes.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to do so. We do see the unhook there on the Kate. Blight swinging out a little bit early, potentially hearing them there. And we do see the Nancy, as they will get the hit there at the pallet. And looks like Blight will rush off into the distance, trying to find where the Nancy has gone. Going for the hug tech, but unable to do so successfully, as Nancy does make their way into main.
Yeah, just missing ever so slightly so that they can traverse a lot more smoothly. But we just see her dive out the window, scratch marks everywhere. Let's hope that they get another down here to alleviate that pressure off themselves. And the survivors, as I said, will want to try and get a couple more gens done and get someone out to show some honor in this particular game.
Yeah, absolutely. Blight, though, getting it down on the Kate as she was not able to get that vault in time. And I do believe here this will be their second hook, but a decisive strike incoming as Kate will be able to hit it in time. And looks like Blight is all but concerned about this main generator as Adam is just about to complete it.
Yep, and we see him dive off into the distance, and it must be so frustrating seeing that gen nearly pop every time. The Blight seems to do well to come back and ensure that doesn't happen, and we see Adam leap off into the distance with a balanced landing like a leopard.
Yeah, bounce lane really strong. Kind of mentioned it earlier how on this main gen, the bounce lane is going to be the strongest perk that you can have at your disposal. And we will see the 4th gen popping off. That main gen not far behind, I think.
Yeah.
Though these two survivors here are injured, and Nancy will end up going down.
Yeah, that was good by the Blight. I almost didn't see it. A nice little flick and shimmy round and takes Bew out the game. FaZe stepping it up a bit, but we see Deadlock in main building. Again, it must be nearly done. The frustration is Adam up there hiding, trying to get this done again. He must be somewhere, but almost working in their favor to protect. Was that regressing? It was still regressing, was it?
It looked like it still was off of the Deadlock, and we will see the down there on the Kate around the corner. Kate actually starting to work on this gen here, and Blight using their Pop Goes Weasel to get this regressing before they move up to main. Survivors maybe strategically not touching that gen just in case there was a Pop Goes Weasel in hand, but now with the second one, this could be a little bit rough unless they are up there and primed for the gen pop.
Yeah, I don't think so. We see Adam running around there. At this stage, I actually want to see, there she is, running off into the distance. They are determined to get that main one. I'm pretty sure a wise person said to me before we started that was the easiest gen to get, no?
Yeah, I mean, we saw it 99 off a Deadlock time and time again. The issue was Pop Goes the Weasel just kept on regressing it. It's actually one of the reasons why we are banning the combination of Deadlock and Pop as a perk combo for this exact reason. It makes it really hard for survivors to strategically 99 against movement-based killers like Blight, as they're just going to get that huge amounts of regression from Pop. And so next season, we'll see if Deadlock fares just as well as it did this one.
Yeah, I think that's a good call because we're seeing that prime example of why this is difficult to do, that overall combination. We see Blight now looking for Princess Odin and going for that slug game to, as we said, really wants to make sure they get that 4K. Not a survivor will escape FaZe's grasp if they have their way. But the search is on. Where is Adam hiding? Or is he looking to get that gen done? No, it's still regressing. So maybe he's over the other side of the map. Have we seen an unbreakable play? We see Bioa get up. Whether he's healed or saved or whether that came into play, we don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say whether or not it was an unbreakable. At the very least, the Virus kind of getting a second wind here as they are able to get the pickup. And I imagine the reset here in just a moment.
Yep, so we got 2 up, Blink bleeding away. The search is on. Hopefully they're resetting somewhere. And I think that gen's almost back to, oh no, it's not, still about 50%. The ever battle for the main gen is on. We see the 2 reset. Blink feeling sorry for themselves, laying on the ground. His teammates ignoring them. Maybe someone will go and help them now, but Blight is ignoring them until he finds the other survivors. Will they find them? Searching around the edges of the map. No sign of them yet. Oh, scratch marks.
Yeah, looks like they did find some scratch marks. Kate is back up as well. But fact of the matter is that the Blight is still struggling here to really get a down level and find where the survivors have gone.
Maybe they're all having a party protecting Blink at the moment, but doesn't appear to be any other work being done on the gen, unless, was there one just there? No, no one on that one either. So curious to know. Full reset, full healed. The attack will start again. Kind of a good regroup by the survivors here, right?
Yeah, honestly, amazing job so far. We see them trying to once again work on this gen in main. Adam jumping down at that balance landing. Blight, I imagine, going to have to drop that chase out of fear that the other survivors could be nearby.
Yeah, but I still think it may be just a bridge too far. We talked about manufacturing a free gen here, and they are, even though it is unable to progress, this one is going to cause them the most pain to protect, as we see it starting to be worked on again. There's around 50-60%, but I wonder where the other survivors are.
Yeah, so far no sign of them. The main one that we've seen so far jumping off of main was Adam, and I think that these survivors are making a smart play and splitting up gen pressure. As we do hear the gen over here for a little bit of progress, and scratch marks to boot, as Blight does try and swing out, but missing the Kate.
Yeah, and pursues around, but leaves Shaq and tries to draw him away from that gen. Smart move, a important miss. Surprised they're not utilizing that tile to get a loop. Early pallet dropping, sucking up the time, but Blight breaks chase. There's Adam on his favorite gen, and his leap off with balance landing will make sure that he gets the distance. A kick, and we basically recycle this process all again.
Yeah, however, we did see survivors earlier trying to split gen pressure over there on Shaq's side. Blight having to be very careful of that, lest they end up getting the gen for free. Adam going to a corner, just trying to waste as much time as possible, but Adam will go down, as we do see a double eruption scream there in the main building as those survivors were trying to get it done and dusted.
How important was that eruption kicked in? What's that, 25 seconds of not being able to do anything? And with Adam on the hook, that is a really important part of the match and playing into the Blight's hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam, though, unhooked, potentially deliverance, giving them some more pressure back. And once again, that eruption actually may be hurting the Blight more than anything, though they did get the survivors off of the gen and 9 seconds off of it as well in forms of regression. That pop goes the Weasel still in the Blight's hands, and he's unable to use it until the gen is touched by a survivor.
Yeah, when we see I think you're right, they're playing quite well to split that pressure across the map. There we see again, Buey, they had reset. Buey takes that hit, little bit of progress on this particular gen, and as we see, it kicks again and starts regressing. Recycle.
Yeah, it's hard to say what the outcome is going to be, but the survivors get it done, and we are looking at the exit gates up and running, which means these survivors could potentially get a 3-man out.
What do you think we saw that gen was close to be doing. What do you think he didn't go in and kick it that time, Gil? And chose to come back to that side? It was a strange decision, no?
It is, but Blight potentially stuck on the hook. Not exactly sure how or why. Kind of a new thing. Oh, there. Maybe. Are we good? Blight may have unstuck themselves. I think they rushed a little bit too hard into that hook and ended up hooking themselves, in fact.
Oh, that is a shame. Wanted to get that 4K, but getting that stuck on the hook. And Buey and Prince Odin get out on Blink on the other exit gate. That was an important catch. Caught the bottom of his cloak off there. But yeah, Prophecy did well. They'd already won them conditions before that started happening. But yeah, tough day at the office for Tribute, as Prophecy looked like they've taken that second set.
Yep, they have indeed. So Prophecy will walk away the winners of Group B's bronze match. And we will only have a short while to go till we are witnessing the finals of Group B, as Iconic versus Chronicles will duke it out for the first place spot.
Really looking forward to that game. Two really good, strong teams going in. I'm not quite sure who I think's going to win it. They both have different strengths from what we saw from yesterday. If they both turn up, we're in for an absolute treat. But I just want to thank Tribute and Prophecy for some entertaining matches, and congratulations, Prophecy, and well fought Tribute. And it was an absolute pleasure to be casting with you, Guild.
Awesome. It was a pleasure having you here as well. And don't you worry, you're going to be back once again in just 23 minutes, as we'll be having finals here at 2 p.m. CST. So for all of you watching here today, don't you go anywhere, as we will be seeing who comes out victorious for Group B and who ends up being the bridesmaid. But with that being said, we'll be back in just a little bit. But before we do go, we remind everyone here today that thank you much for joining us for Season 5. We are just about wrapped up. Group A will be next week. But with that being said, we'll be back in just a bit. Thank you all for your support, and we'll see you soon.